I'm grocery shopping. When did a bag of chips cost $7.29?
I'm feeling so pissed off.
I'm already angry because I'm out here risking lung cancer just to go to the grocery store because it's all...
I've spent the last 240 days unemployed.
People are charging $1,000 a month to rent rooms in their home.
I believe the United States of America will collapse. I believe
it's going to be full of rats, roaches. It's going to be in a bad neighborhood that's riddled with crime.
I'm grocery shopping. When did a bag of chips cost $7.29? What?
How do people afford to live? I am leaving Costco with 6 items. $165 for 6 things. I mean, salmon's one of them, but my heart goes out to all you moms and dads who are raising families and trying to feed your kids. I don't have any college educations to pay for. 6 items, $165. How are families making it and surviving in this day and age? Holy cow.
Millions of people are starting to realize that modern life is falling apart. Each year, more and more is taken away from us as prices increase and wages stay nearly the same. It's simply getting hard for everyone to live, and the lives of many hardworking people in our community are falling apart. Let's take a look at some of these videos and let me know what you think in the comments. Modern life is falling apart.
$30 an hour is going to be $60,000 a year, which is $3,900 a month after taxes. Now, if you're making $60,000 a year, $30 an hour, you might want your own place. So if you wanted to splurge and get your own 1-bedroom with utilities, it'll be about $2,000, and you keep everything else the same. Your monthly is $3,550, leaving you with only $350, which is essentially still paycheck to paycheck. I just want everyone to really take a minute and sit on this for a second. $60,000 a year in 2024 with no fund, no savings, no investment, and no health insurance. You have $350 left over. Wild. That's wild. This is why the goalpost has moved into the mid 100,000s if you're trying to buy a house and have children. So I think it's important for us to look at the current reality of what $20 an hour really is. But I just wanted to make this very clear because a lot of people are talking on us saying $20 an hour, we must be overspending. It's like, no, this is the current reality.
People are charging $1,000 a month to rent rooms in their home. $1,000 a month to rent a room. Bro, what the fuck we gonna do? The cost of living has gotten out of hand, and y'all buy a house, man. Everybody that I know that owns a house tells me don't buy no fucking house. They hate that shit. Between property taxes going the fuck up, insurance going the fuck up, niggas having to fix roofs. Is that what it is? Having to fix their roof and shit. Everybody I know that got a goddamn house tell me don't buy no goddamn house. They say at least you call a maintenance man. But dead ass, what the fuck we gonna do about the rising cost of living? Because what you mean you charging people $1,000? You got 3 rooms in your house, you're charging them $1,000 for somebody to come live there. This shit is sad. Like, my son gonna be an adult in the next couple of years. He's gonna graduate from high school and be an adult. And this is the world he has to live in? The fuck? I guess I need... shit is weird.
I need somebody to tell me how I'm supposed to make it in today's economy. Bro, shit's so high. You can't... It's hard to go grocery shopping. I mean, you go in the store with say $300. You ain't coming out with much. And I remember back in the day, $300. Shit, if you was shopping with that, you had a buggy full of meat, shrimp, steaks, enough, to last a while. Now, $300 might get you 6 little bags. That's pitiful, man. Something's got to change. The gas prices is still high. What happened, man? I thought Trump was gonna help us. This ain't what I expected when I voted this year, bro. Last year. That's not right. Something got to change. We can't make it. How are we gonna make it?
Y'all know what kills me? I cannot leave the house without spending $300. If I get in my car and go somewhere, whether it's groceries, running errands, eating, picking up stuff for the kids, like, I just went to Walmart. No joke, y'all. I got 6 bags. 6 bags. $297. No wonder people is trying to make a living off TikTok, because you can't afford to go nowhere. You cannot afford to leave the house anymore. You leave the house, get ready to swipe. I mean, this is so ghetto.
I believe the United States of America will collapse. I believe this because the people in power will not deal with poverty or wealth inequality. So long as we tolerate poverty, our society will get sicker and sicker. We will all slowly become more impoverished, and our sense of humanity will dwindle even further than it already has. The demise of this empire that is America will be the result of us tolerating the misery of others. Misery that could be so easily cured if we just cured poverty. It is not normal to have tent cities in every single major city in America in the greatest country on earth. It isn't normal to have people working full-time jobs just to live in their cars. And those are somehow the lucky ones, because there are homeless people living on the street who have nothing and they work full-time jobs. This is not normal. It is not normal for people to work the entirety of their lives just to lose everything because they had to pay extortion rates on medicine when they got sick. I say it isn't normal, but it actually has become normalized. We've all become numb to these things. We've become numb to driving past the homeless every day. Our society has become numb to seeing abject poverty every single day. This is a sign that our society is sick, and it will only get sicker so long as the people in power continue to allow poverty to exist. The truth is, the people in power have no intention of curing poverty. The only intention they have is to keep power out of the hands of the people and to keep people poor and money going into the hands of corporations and their rich friends. And despite what the media says, curing poverty is not hard. Very easy, in fact, but the government doesn't want you to know that because they want you to believe the lie that there's not enough money. Yet there's always enough money for their wars. There's always enough money for corporate bailouts and for corporate tax cuts. How is it that we never have enough money to take care of the American people, but we have enough money to pay the weapons contractors all the money they need for war? And there just always seems to be another forever war. The cure to crime, poverty, and needless misery is simply taxing the rich and ending the forever wars. Thank you all so much for watching, and I appreciate your face.
I'm feeling so pissed off because why did I go to CVS and here's what I bought. Shampoo, conditioner, a 6-pack of toilet paper, and a birthday card for my niece. 4 things. I'm gonna give you a minute. These 4 items, I just want you to guess how much I spent. I'm gonna give you a second. $72. And I think I got like a $3 discount. What's going on? Like, I'm not going out buying luxury products. This is a good brand, but this was the cheapest version of this brand. Like, there were bottles that were like $41. I think these were like $26 or something. I don't have any other choice but to wipe my ass. How much was this card? $5. I guess this isn't that bad. But like, why is the bulk of this balance from 3 items? What's happening? Like, I don't understand. Do you have to be rich to shop at CVS now? Like, what's going on?
I applied to 20 jobs this summer, and I heard back from one. It was a rejection from Starbucks. Hi, Lila. Thank you so much for your interest in this barista position. However, unfortunately, after careful consideration, we cannot offer you the position. You see, you don't have 10 years of barista experience. You also haven't shown enough interest or support in the great state of Israel. Join the IDF, serve for a year, and then maybe we'll consider allowing you to serve the common folk their coffee. Best, Starbucks management.
I just went to Best Buy because I needed an SD card for my camera, and my jaw quite literally dropped on the floor. And I bought SD cards before, and I don't need anything fancy, just so I can take silly, goofy little videos and pictures on my camera, okay? And normally, from my memory, they're about 25 bucks. So I was thinking, great, I have a crisp 50, I'll get 2 of them, that way I don't have to worry about it again. As I was looking at the SD cards, the average price was anywhere from $70 to $250. What do you mean? And one of the workers was right by me and goes, "Can I help you find anything?" And I go, sorry if this sounds weird, but are there any reasonably priced SD cards? Why are these so expensive? And shout out to this employee because he was awesome. He said he did content creation. I regret not grabbing his username. But if you see this, I appreciate you. And he looks at me and he goes, "Nope, not ridiculous at all. Last month they got marked up 250%. 250%. Why ever might that be, good sir? You guys want to know the answer? You want to know the answer? AI! And now, excuse me if I butcher this because I'm not super well versed in this, but from what I gathered from what he told me, AI has been buying out SD card companies, and so it's making it more and more expensive. Something along those lines. If you see this and you need to correct me, please feel free to do so. He did help me find this SD card, which I paid $57.39 for one SD card. Awesome!
If you make $500 a week and you get paid 4 times a month, it's 4 weeks in a month. I think there's a month or 2 of the year that got 5 weeks in it. So $500 a week times 4, that's $2,000 a month that you make at your current job. And your rent is $1,700 a month. And $1,700 a month could be a pretty decent apartment or a pretty decent house. So that will leave you $300. Now, mind you, you have to go to work, right? You have to get gas. A lot of people do carpool. So they may pay them $100 a month for carpool or $100 a month for gas. That actually leaves them $200. Now, that's just if they carpool. If they got their own vehicle, they're probably paying $100 a week just in gas. Your mortgage is $1,700. You pay $100 for gas. Where does that leave room for your utilities? How do you pay a $87 or $120 light bill or an $85 water bill? How do you buy groceries for your family? I'm trying to do the math here to see how people are supposed to survive in this type of economy right now. A person can't even live off $2,000 a month. And if you find something less than $1,700 a month, as far as living, it's gonna be full of rats, roaches. It's gonna be in a bad neighborhood that's riddled with crime, riddled with violence. So how do you win in this economy, man? $2,000 a month used to be a lick, man. It used to be a lick back in the day. These people out here are struggling for real, man. No wonder robberies have went up so high. No wonder crime is going up so high. No wonder so many bank robberies are occurring and people are actually getting away with it. $2,000 a month ain't shit anymore, man. I've been sitting here trying to do the math and I've been asking myself, how are people able to survive, man? And then out of that $500 a week that you make at work, you don't even bring the whole $500 home because they take out insurance. They got this bullshit tax. They got that bullshit tax. They got your 401k. They got your insurance. Oh, and don't even let me get started on child support. How the hell do you even survive making $2,000 a month and your rent is $1,700? How can you eat? How do you survive this, man? You guys let me know what y'all think of this in the comment section. This is crazy when you really, really think about it. But thanks for watching.
I'm already angry because I'm out here risking lung cancer just to go to the grocery store because there's all this smoke in the air. But I just left out the grocery store with one bag of groceries and it cost me $100 or $91. I ain't even buy nothing serious. Look at this. There's my one bag of groceries, right? And look at this bill. Look at this bill. Look at that. Look at that. $91. Here's a list of things. It ain't even that serious. I got tuna fish. I got mayo. I got some burger buns. Why is this $91?
And I think what's so frustrating is that the politicians keep hooting, hollering, and screaming that capitalism somehow is a great thing. Capitalism, schmapitalism. They need to put regulations on these companies. They need to put regulations on goods. Certain goods can't be a certain price based off of the minimum wage that we have. Because the minimum wage is the same that it's been since 20 years ago. I was a kid in college and it's still the same minimum wage now. But the price of everything has gone up. It seems impractical. It seems dumb. I think anybody looking at the numbers would say, well, this doesn't work. Then we need to make a change. So I don't understand why people aren't getting madder at their representatives and saying, y'all need to do something about these prices. You need to regulate these companies. We don't care about capitalism anymore. You need to make sure they are not overcharging us. Because even if they raise wages, it's not going to stop these companies from them saying, oh, well, they gave everybody raises. Let's raise our prices even more. No, they need to put caps on goods. They need to put caps on services. They need to put a cap on how much people can charge. Because right now, it's a runaway train. And I don't see how these billionaires and these millionaires don't see it. Eventually, the people buying your stuff won't be able to buy it anymore or won't be able to buy as much of it. So your money's going to go down. Oh, we'll just raise our prices again. Then eventually they just won't be able to buy anything. So I don't understand what is happening anymore, how it makes sense. I just feel like I'm in bizarro world, but that's my sadness. And I have to go brave the air again because, the air is trying to kill us now because of wildfires in another country. And another video for that. Y'all have a good day.
People with access to generational wealth, or I should say maybe generational support, even at moderate levels, they see someone not doing everything, even when they're well-meaning, they see someone not doing everything they can to move forward and get ahead as a moral failure, because they don't understand that it's not a moral failure for people in poverty. It's a physical inability, right? When you're poor, everything is more expensive. You have no one to lean on very often when you're poor. You have no sense of community. You have no resources, financially, physical, or otherwise. And so they'll look at you as though, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you going to college? Why don't you just... It's like you're telling the person that takes the bus everywhere, why don't they go to school when not only does it take them 11 hours to go round trip to work, right? Between taking the bus to and from work, they've got to take the bus to the grocery store. They got to take the bus to the laundromat. Why don't you just buy a washer and dryer? Because they only make enough money to be able to afford to wash their clothes at the washing machine, not enough to put them away to buy. They don't understand how their access to that support system that they have permits them to do things that other people quite literally can't do. I had an ex-girlfriend telling me about how oh, you should just go do this, you should just go do this. And it's like I hadn't just read the right self-help books or whatever. And I'm like, you don't understand that when your parents pass, you inherit a generational wealth amount of money. When my mom dies, I'm going to get a $10,000 bill from the state. That's the difference between you and me. So you get to fail over and over and over again right now, and that even should you choose to, if everything goes south for you, you get to coast into old age. There are going to be people in their 60s and 70s working at McDonald's because they don't want to starve. Now, you are afforded the luxury to get to do things, and that's why you believe it's a moral failing. Other people don't have that luxury. They have to do things. And so what a lot of times they end up doing is they're like, well, why aren't you doing these extras, these accessories to go get further? And they are only doing the requisites they can to stay alive for one more day. And too many people with privilege, even when they're well-meaning, they can't comprehend the difference.
I just got off the phone a few hours ago with a company. They offered me a position and I've accepted it. It hasn't really hit me yet. I've spent the last 240 days unemployed. I've watched what little savings money I had and the unemployment I was receiving effectively disappear. I think I've got $4 in my bank account. I have spent all of that time applying to jobs, trying to figure out what I needed to do to become competitive, to become marketable, to become hireable. I sent out over 150 applications. I stopped counting after 150. And through that, I landed 5 interviews and received 1 job offer. At some point, I also ended up spending $560 of my own dollars to go get an HR certification because I thought it would give me a leg up. I thought that would make me more competitive. It didn't. The role I ended up landing, I don't even need that certification for. So, at least for this role, entirely useless. But it's been hard, and I'm glad that there's an end in sight. It hasn't really settled yet, and I'm just wondering when that happens. When does that relief set in and finally become recognized by the body? I've been running on anxiety and stress and fight or flight for 8 months, and that's all I know. As soon as I hung up after accepting this job offer, the first thing I wanted to do was to get on LinkedIn and start looking for work. I realized I don't have to do that now. But that's just how deeply ingrained it is in my brain right now that I need to be looking for work. I need to be pushing. I need to be trying to find something. If I'm completely honest with whoever's listening, it's been hard. It got dark, really, really dark. There were more than a few times where I was at rock bottom, probably a little bit deeper. You know, I'm already on an anti-anxiety and depression medication, and I was at a point where I was thinking, maybe this isn't worth it anymore. Maybe the amount of fight I'm giving isn't worth sustaining, and maybe taking a long walk off of a short rooftop is a much better option than what I've been doing. I'm honestly glad I didn't, but that's more than a couple of times. That's where I was. That's how dark it had gotten for me. I had to lean on family and friends to make my rent payment last month. I had to beg, borrow, and plead with people to try to make my car payment because I was facing repossession. I had a point where I was looking at, do I sell my car because its current value is more than the loan that I had out for it, so I could stand to make some money off of that, but then what do I do without a vehicle? How would I get to work? And I could use the difference to try to buy a used car, but the used cars in the amount of money I had were so old and had so many miles on them, I just didn't know what I was inheriting. It didn't solve the immediate problem of having no money. Okay, I sold my car, I bought a beater, but now I still can't make rent. You know, even part-time work wasn't hiring. Barnes & Noble turned me down. Costco and Target never called me back. The only thing that was left was DoorDash. And it's really hard to want to go out and DoorDash when you know you should be spending as much of your available time applying for other jobs, longer term jobs. And with the cost of gas right now, even that is like, okay, I'm not going to DoorDash unless I can guarantee that I'm going to earn more mile than I'm spending in gas right now. And I wish I had some great wisdom for everyone about what this experience has taught me, but all I come away with is it sucked. It sucked ass. It was hard. The economy and the job market right now is no joke. It is beyond competitive. And all I can say is that I hope that for everyone that's in this position, you also find that light at the end of the tunnel that is your next big opportunity, because I'm sure it's out there, but it takes a lot of fight to get there.
A lot of us simply can't keep up anymore, and it's even more sad that a lot of us are getting called lazy. The system for most of us isn't sustainable, and it's difficult to want to get ahead in life when you simply can't because of how much everything costs. For most people, the only way to survive is to have a job. And now, when you have a job, you aren't even guaranteed enough money to live. Add in the fact that many of us can't even get a job, and it's easy to see why modern life is falling apart. Let me know what you think about these clips, and most importantly, thank you for watching.